What's up, y'all? So, it's been a minute since I done a Sykoism live, and the reason for that is because the last video I made, I was a little, or the last few videos I made, I would say, I was a little bit more right hand path leaning, which I actually take back, and I've returned a little bit more to the left hand path. And I want to say to my left hand path followers or peers that I may have let down, that my bad for that. But there was validity to a lot of what I said, so I'm gonna leave it up. But um, pretty much the right hand path has its advantages, but something about it, like you can, a big point I was saying was you can there's more success on the right hand path and more people are on it, this and that. But you can be successful and have a lot of people in your life and still not be happy. And also, I just feel like maybe it's something not meant for me, possibly. Um, in the last videos, I was bragging about, oh, I have my own crib. I have my own crib, as in my own place to stay for people who don't know the slang. But I have my own place, my own car, and I had two girlfriends. But after those videos, I got into a bad car accident and I lost the two girlfriends. And now I got a new car and possibly two girlfriends again, but through the left hand path. And it feels better, I would say. It's not like uh maybe it's not fully all pleasant and shit, but it's like maybe I'm going with less things I'm unaware of and really paying attention to my shadow in ways that I need specifically, possibly because of the life I've lived, that maybe my shadow is different. Who knows? But there's different strokes for different folks, however they say it. And some people are meant for the right hand path, some left, some middle. I kind of been dabbling in the middle and left a little bit more, but really, I fuck with it all. It's all tools to evolve and grow and organize yourself. But I've got, I did on my live with my girlfriend talk more about Lucifer and Lilith and Kali and Shiva. And um this psychoism live thing and psychoism as a thing overall, it's something I'm figuring out, and I'm pretty much figuring it out as I do these lives along with the people that watch it. Whatever you guys say, I'll take it into consideration and build this egregore together with you guys. But one thing I've been thinking for psychoism as a spiritual system or religion or whatever somebody would consider it, some of the main gods I'd like to incorporate. The first one is not a god, but more like a deity or a spirit. Santa Muerte, Lilith, Lucifer, Kali, Shiva, Odin, and Abraxas. And they don't necessarily fully line up and correlate with the chakras, but they are, for me, chakra inspired. And the reasons why I chose them is because Santa Muerte is good with money, I feel like, and earthly things. So I chose her to line up with the root chakra. Lilith, definitely a lot of sexual energy involved. So sacral chakra. Lucifer, a lot of people equate him to willpower and pride, and even in certain grimoires, they connect him to the solar plexus. And then Kali is also as well connected to the heart chakra in many books. And Shiva, I think, not necessarily even too deeper than that. He's blue, is why, and because of how Lilith and Lucifer and Kali line up, I found it appropriate to put Shiva as the throat chakra god, and then the third eye, Odin. Um, I was debating between Odin and Hecate, but because Odin has the symbolism of missing the eye, and just because I want to gain more mastery over the runes, I found it appropriate to put him as the third eye god, and then Abraxas for the crown chakra. But yep, that's pretty much. I have been dabbling in all those gods, as well as looking more into chaos magic and shamanism, vampire magic. I just finished Liber Null and Psychonaut, which I actually bought it before Peter J. Carroll died, and then after he died, I chose to read it in his honor. And I pretty much already do chaos magic, and even labeled myself as a chaos magician without even really knowing what it is. But my intuition was correct in that it's about not necessarily paying attention to any ceremonial traditions, but learning about all the traditions and religions and fusing them together how you like, which is pretty much what I do in my practice. Magic wise, I haven't really been doing too much spells and rituals and things like that. I did do a full moon ritual, which when I do those, I feel like I've noticed a profound change in my life, whether it's positive, negative, or a mix of it all. Um, Sometimes when you want something positive, you need to accept the negative that comes with it. If it's removal or whatever it is, which physical wise and mental wise, that's definitely something I've been working with removing. Um, I would say this past year, I've tried with along with being a little bit more right hand path and open to those ideologies. I guess I'm finding a balance between both paths because prior to dabbling with the right, I was predominantly left hand path for 5 years. So regardless of if I continue with the left hand path, I feel like a little right hand path experience definitely helped me gain more balance, because when I was on the left hand path, I feel like I may have been uh the how do you say it? It may have resulted in how people describe maybe too much ego or narcissism or things like that. So me going to the right was in a way to try to humble myself and fit more in with society, which it also helped me in life with my current job situation. Right now, I'm working security, which I maybe wouldn't have got into if it weren't for the right hand pass. So I feel like I needed that. But also removing, well, as I said, right hand path. I was humbling and opening myself up to people, got the job opportunity, and but I've noticed, like, oh, as I was in the right hand path too, I also was going out trying to party more and go to more events and network. But as I'm getting back into the left hand path, I'm realizing, like, how unpleasant it is to kind of chase the masses and be around people or have people in your life that don't really benefit you or just use you. And I've kind of been finding more peace and a little bit more solitude and mastery over things that actually benefit me and my skills, and not necessarily going too to the extreme with the ego. It's a nice little balance I found. Not gonna say I have it perfected. Never do I think that. I'm always learning and trying to grow. I don't even think I'm necessarily an advanced magician or occultist. I would say intermediate. Um, for those who don't know my whole story, I could get more into that a little bit. And also, I did want to catch up spiritually, give you guys updates, and also maybe say some life stories that are pretty interesting or funny or spiritual. But I pretty much grew up with a Christian family, not too Christian. We would go to church sometimes, and almost every Sunday, almost not every, but my dad would play like a pastor on TV that would play on Sunday, Joel Osteen actually. But there were phases that he didn't do it, phases that he did. Oh yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but I just cracked my neck. Shit felt good. But so grew up with a Christian family. Um, And there were phases in my childhood that I didn't even believe in God. Like, my family was kind of dysfunctional, and my parents were always arguing, and I had from a young age, I had my phases of depression, and it made me feel like God possibly wasn't real. And I would even get like I don't want to get too graphic on here. Um, but I would even get suicidal thoughts. And oh, then I tried psychedelics, and that I feel like helped me believe in God again. So then I went more in the direction of being like a spiritual Christian, um, more Christian at first, and then learning about different types of philosophies and shamanism and chakras and crystals around the spiritual psychedelic change. That was from, I would say, 15 to, 15 to about 21. And that's when I started getting into the occult and the left hand path. And then from 21 to about 25, I was fully left hand path, only worked with demons. Sometimes would mix in a little bit of angel stuff. But for the most part, probably like 90%, it was demon workings and working with Lucifer. And then after that, to bridge myself into right hand path stuff um, without fully switching over, I started working with Santa Muerte and would incorporate the Psalms. And then that led me to dabble a little bit in the Bible. And then that's when I was up more on what I was speaking on within the earlier Sykoism videos. And now I'm here back in the left hand path and I'm enjoying it. I'll give you guys updates on it. But there is one situation I want to speak on. But so I grew up with this one cousin that I've been cool with on and off my whole life. And he's always been right hand path his whole life. And he growing up, he had like anger problems and was in special ed. And regardless of that, I always like saw him as a brother. And like over these past years, me and him keep going on and off. And one thing I've noticed, it's always when I'm getting more into the left-hand path and when I start like getting more on my polyamorous type of shit. And like, yeah, people could like choose things they don't fuck with, but I don't know, like if you grow up with somebody and I myself don't have prejudices to like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, like that's part of why I'm straying further from the right hand path too. Partly because of, I wonder who's watching, but partly because of him and things I've noticed with him. Whoever's watching, leave a comment. I want to see. But fucking um yeah, so like fucking I don't know if I should get further into that or get into a story about this person. Whoever's in the live, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. But I'm also real quick before I continue, I'm going to send this link in my Vamp Gang channel on Instagram. If you're not in it, join it. I put all my updates on there. I guess I can't really pull up the link. Let me see. Okay, okay. I'm glad for the comment. Thank you. That's true. Hard to deal with some right hand path people. I kind of wanted the person to comment. Thank you, whoever you are. But I kind of wanted you to comment to ah, that's funny as fuck. Oh, I think I know who this is if I'm not mistaken. Is this the other cousin? So I think this might be my other cousin in the live. He's also right hand path if it is him, but at least he's being nice right now. But maybe you're not my cousin. My bad if you're not. But I saw a comment the other day with certain emojis that felt like it was. But anyways, so the cousin I'm speaking on is the person I've made music with, Lil Just or Almighty Just. But fucking yeah, like I feel like he uh so yeah, like I said, we've always had our arguments, and I feel like it's like in our most recent argument, the reason why it was because he was working these past year or two. He's been working fast food jobs, and and each one of them he like gets in a situation where he like throws a tantrum, gets mad at a customer employee, starts screaming at them like, yo, what the fuck, this and that, and fucking gets to the point of like police being called, shit like that. And he had just done it again for like a third time within the span of like a year or two, repeating the same thing and same thing over and over again. And he's 27 and I'm 27 also. We're the same age. And fucking, I tried to tell him that it's retarded for him to continue working fast food jobs. And he wanted to try to say, oh, you have mental problems. Like you're fucking retarded for thinking that it's retarded for me to do fast food. That's the only thing I could do right now. He didn't literally say that's the only thing I could do right now, but he always throws together words to make excuses and justify saying in the same place and deflecting and making it seem like he don't have a problem. But clearly, if you working fast food over and over and fucking like spazzing out every time, and you're 27 and like living in the same place, no love life, and not only that, but always having to rely on favors from me and your mom at 27 years old, and you want to call me retarded, like yeah, like I gotta cut that off. And this is not the first time, and like it's tiresome to deal with that shit. Like and not only that, but I gave him, I don't know how I could word it properly to not get flagged or whatever, but let's just say I helped him go through some psychedelic trips, quite a few, for free, and he still doesn't get it. And I put him on so much spiritual shit, bought him books, gave him money, bought him food, would take him out. He doesn't have a car. I've always been the one with the car. I tell him advice how to get a car, how to elevate his life, how to get more money, and It's always just fast food and video games and being closed-minded and shit. And like my the right hand path part of me that I've been on these past 2 years, it's like, all right, you gotta forgive, accept people how they are, shit like that. But sometimes that's not the way if you really want to elevate in life. Sometimes family and friends and people you care about, like, they don't really care about you the same way. If they're willing to just dismiss everything, hate on everything you like, fucking take you for granted, use you, you gotta open your eyes and call back some of that energy. Fuck that shit of helping people that don't appreciate it, don't reciprocate it. Sometimes you could help out of the goodness of your heart, but like sometimes when it's family, like bringing you down, wasting your time, using you, you gotta cut that shit off. And not only that, not only those things I described, but we started making music together, and like every time we've ever cooked up has been a waste of time. Every song we ever made, he's deleted it. And even after that, I still helped him with music and shit. Deleted that shit too. And even again, and deleted that shit too. Like, and then, and then on top of that, fucking, he wants to talk down on my shit. For, like, he doesn't have to like what I do, whatever. But if I'm gonna help you all that much and you're gonna fucking betray me, go against me, all that shit, delete shit, like at least let me be my own person without trying to fucking hate and make me feel bad about doing what I like. And like our recent argument with the whole fast food situation, I told him he's being a hater, and his response to that is, oh, but I'm not jealous of you. And like, yeah, you don't got to be jealous of me, but hate, it doesn't only stem from jealousy, and part of it could be underlying jealousy, but people who are on the right hand path don't um pay attention to their shadow to notice certain unconscious things they do and repeat patterns over and over again. And fucking, it could be a little bit of jealousy. I think it's a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of fear because he knows about my left hand path stuff. And like I said, he's right hand path. And he's always like had an underlying fear and like I feel like insecurity and like just I think it's fear and insecurity mostly because like he would even do the same thing in high school. And in high school it was a little bit flipped. I was a little bit more of a loser, whatever, and he was more popular. And but then as the years went by, I started pulling holes, getting money, succeeding with the music, all this shit. So all that hating and thinking he knew it all, like it all got disproven. And he just been a gamer working fast food and fucking not having any holes all these years. And I've been doing my shit. But fucking yeah, so now he sees me doing my shit and I feel like it's insecurity and fear. And like part of me has felt bad to talk about shit like this, but hey, I gotta be vulnerable and be transparent with my viewers. And right now with my left hand path processes, I kind of care more about YouTube I cared about him more than a lot of things, but right now I want to care about my YouTube and more than my bond with him. Especially, he said he's okay with us not being cool forever, so might as well capitalize off the situation. And I might as well, now that I've got this off my chest, even though it was a little bit hard, but the left hand path has been helping me sever ties and shit like that. Like, you don't need to even be cool with a lot of people, to be honest. Like like I said, these past 2 years I've been trying to fucking be cool with hella people, be all in the group chats of the local scene, but that's not even necessary to grow in life or be successful, and it could be a detriment to success and your spirituality. It's not good to try to follow the masses and always be tuned in with that. But now that I got all that off my chest, I have like 30 more minutes and then I have to go do something. But I'm gonna say a story, and if anybody has any recommendations of topics to give stories on after, let me know, and I'll try to whip one up and tell it. But I already gave an update on my life, my spirituality, shit that's been going on. Now is the story part, which I want to start making a segment on my channel. But this is a good story. If you're in here, I see it's two people since my channel is not that big yet, and it's 3:37 a.m. But y'all stay tuned and listen to the story. So this story is the evilest prank I ever did, which it might go into why maybe my cousin doesn't fuck with me, as I was talking about earlier. But he doesn't even know fully my involvement in this. But I'm gonna tell the story right now, which it is pretty dark, and it's like thinking about it is so evil and like so embarrassing that it's like, all right, whatever. He could not fuck with me. It is what it is. And I'm not fully proud of my evil moments, but it's a funny story. It's worth sharing, and it's not too extreme. It's like, let's say 10 being the most unforgivable piece of shit that shouldn't be part of society. It's probably like a 9. It's like right under that. So me and him, me and my cousin were in I don't know if it was, yeah, it was high school. It was high school. So we were in high school, and it was during the time of Kick, the app Kick, the messaging app. And I was in a different school. I was in like this academy school, and he was in a public school. And I used to play PlayStation and be like on the headset talking to friends and shit, playing Call of Duty. And like I've always been good at like bringing people together and making a group chat, and or like just random people that don't even know each other. So a lot of people I brought together on PlayStation, and mostly from my school, but also I brought my cousin into it, even though he didn't really do that for me. uh Growing up, he would always try to leave me out of shit. And but anyways, so the Call of Duty, whatever, I was on uh had the headset with one of my friends, and there was the app Kick. So that's the foundation of the story. And so one day I was on the headset with my boy. um I don't want to say his name in case he doesn't want to be mentioned, but let's say M. So I was on the headset with my boy M, And in high school, I was kind of like mischievous, and me and my boys were always pranksters and pranking each other and shit like that. But like I said, this is one of the most evilest pranks I did. So I was on the headset with my boy, and then I was on Kick, and I made a fake Kick, being a porn star, and then I hit up my cousin, and then fucking, like, what was I saying? Like, I was like, oh, hey baby, this and that, like trying to fucking pretend like if I was the porn star for real. And then and then this whole live I'm doing like off the dome, so I'm remembering shit as I go, saying shit as I remember it. But so I'm doing that, pretending I'm the porn star, and and then uh and then I'm like, as I'm on the headset with my boy and we're thinking of shit to say, I go on Kick like, oh wait a minute, you seem to be a minor actually. And then and we both were at the time, maybe like 16, 17, 15, I don't know, some shit like that. But I was like, oh, you seem to be a minor, and that's illegal to be trying to talk to a porn star. And my boy on the headset, he was good at Photoshop, so I got him to make a fake police report, and then I sent it on Kick to my cousin, and it was saying some shit about what he did and with his address and shit like that, and his name. And then and then as this was going on, he was calling me like, at first, I think before the police report, he was calling me like, yo, I don't know what this is happening, like, oh shit. And then he would hang up and I would keep talking to my boy in the headset, or I'll mute the call. And then fucking then the police report shit happened, and he was calling me like, yo, I don't know what to do, like, uh fucking what should I do? And then like, I was like, oh, I don't know, like they're probably not gonna do anything, like just do what you gotta do, like whatever. And then as I was the porn star on Kick, I was like, oh, I won't send the police report if you make a YouTube video apologizing to Bang Bros and upload on YouTube. So so he did it. He made a video apologize. Even though I can't see it anymore, it's not on YouTube. But just picturing it and remembering he was like, I'm sorry, Bang Bros, and I'll never do it again. And fucking uh and then the first upload, when I was on Kick pretending to be a porn star, I was like, oh nah, the crying doesn't look doesn't look real enough. And then I was like, you have to do another one that the people at the Bang Bros office will feel like it's a genuine apology. So he did another one, like actually crying and like be like, I'm sorry, Bang Bros, and I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. Oh my god. But yeah, the video's not up anymore. But and then my boy that fucking helped me with the shit, I think he downloaded the video, or he got the link and he sent it like to people in his school. But yeah, that is a pretty evil prank. But there is much worse. Like, fucking, at the same time, like I said, my cousin has problems with being insecure, so that shit probably fucked him up. But he's done a lot of fucked up shit to me in life, so it is what it is. But that's the story of the Evilest prank. Um, if y'all have any other recommendations, for topics, let me know. But let me know what y'all think about that story. I'll try to think of another one real quick. I'll say one that's embarrassing for me, I guess. I still have some time. My first ever trip, um, it was 25i, 1,200 micrograms. And I was 15. Uh, I did it one day while in my house, in my room. I put it like on my gums, and pretty much I was seeing shit like covering my vision, like wires, matrix looking things, characters floating and shit. And then I saw all that to the extreme, to the point of blacking out. And when I woke up, fucking my dad was next to me in my bed and looking like he was melting and shit. And I had a window to my other side, and I was hallucinating that those blue and red lights, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on? What did I do? It felt like I was dying, and I was seeing all that shit. And so I walked out to out of my room, and my mom was there, like looking worried and shit. And I was like, what's going on? I don't know what the fuck is going and and then like when I leave in my parents' house, once I left my room, there was like a hallway and glass doors to see the outside, and it looked like the outside was like my house floating in space. And so then like I didn't know what was going on. Like it felt like I was in another dimension, like my house floating in space, and I was seeing like a overlay of like a desert and also like portals at the same time. And then I remember like my mom was like calling different people and like trying to get them to talk to me to make sure like I was good. And one of those people, or it might have just only been my brother, I don't remember too well. But I talked to my brother and I was like, yo, am I gonna die? And then he was like, oh nah, you'll be good, just relax, watch TV. And so for the rest of the time, like hours, I was like with my parents, like fucking like worried, like am I gonna die? And then chilling out at the same time. And one thing that I'll always remember, during the trip, um my parents or my mom, like I remember they were doing weird shit that doesn't even make sense. And I was hallucinating certain shit that is like it didn't even make sense. Like I was seeing my mom put like a film on her face with like fractals on it, and like it was like if she was trying to fit to the fractals. Like what? That doesn't even make sense. And then my parents were talking like, "Oh, is this what we do?" And then they were like, "Yeah, this is what we usually do to them." Like if they were aliens, like experimenting on me and shit. Which I could see how a bad trip could go super wrong if people are experiencing that. But what else? I was seeing my fucking nut sack, fucking the the gap in between that and my leg, like it was just my nutsack straight to my leg rather than it being a indent in between. Like that shit was weird as fuck. And I was feeling right here and it felt like I could feel my brain, like if it was squishy and like I wasn't even pressing it too hard because it felt like my brain was like right there. And fucking what else? Oh yeah. So that was the gist of the trip. And then like they had taken away my phone, but I snuck it like, yo, I tripped out. Uh, I let my friends know what was going on, and I was like that for probably like a good like 24 hours, even though like a acid trip, especially 25I, is shorter than that, but probably the high dosage and also if you have a bad trip, it's almost like a psychosis type shit. And and then after all that, they showed me a video that they took uh of while I was tripping, and while I was blacked out, I ended up going to the living room where my parents were, and I started saying random shit like Call of Duty, homework, and I was just like looking around like and like going to the couch and like going like that to it and like just walking around and like going on the couch. Like they probably didn't know how to handle that, but I don't blame them. Like that's pretty crazy to for me to put them through. It's pretty wrong of me, pretty embarrassing, all of the above. But let me think if I could think another story. And also let me know you guys' review on these past two stories, which you would like more like. I think I have a time for one more, but let me think. Let me brainstorm. I guess I could say hmm, 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 hmm. Whoever's watching, try to give me a topic to give a story on. So far, I said my Evilest prank and my first trip. I guess one I could say, well, prank must have been horrible. I mean, um, it wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't like the whole school found out and this and that. And the school he went to like was small as fuck. And like I don't know, it wasn't that bad. But that's funny as fuck. But yeah, the two stories I said so far are the prank and my first trip. And then I was thinking to maybe do my first experience with two girls, but I don't know if that's video worthy. I guess one I could say is damn, I have a crazy story of dating this porn star that used to fuck with XXX Tentacion. That shit is a crazy experience, but I don't know if I want to tell that story. It's pretty long. Do I have time? It's long and uh like certain stories during the time of life with a certain significant other, which is also tied into that. It's like I try to stray away from that. But I could briefly tell this a little bit. So I'll talk about the porn star I dated that also went out with XXX Tentacion and Rob Banks. So how this story begins is when I was 18, around there actually. I used to like see this girl and be like, damn, like she's fine as fuck. That's my ideal girl. Like, damn, I wish I could smash that. And so then fast forward to getting into the left hand path and reading 48 Laws of Power. Uh I built up some power, some money, and a rap group. And I ended up helping my boy Trap G. Shout out to Trap G. He's one person that's right hand path. He's real. He's cool. Like like I like when people are right hand path, but they still accept the darkness, have a little bit of darkness in them, and they don't see everything as, oh, I'm scared. Like I'm gonna go to hell. This and that. Like you can be Christian, but don't be pussy type shit. But anyways, I helped him throw a show, and then that girl slid through. And at the time, I was in a relationship, and but the person I was in the relationship with and that girl both ended up in my rap group along with other people, and fucking and then like the porn star ended up flirting with me, and I ended up like cheating and shit. Um and then fast forward. Oh wait. Well, nah, I won't get into how I stopped being cool with her. But oh, at least at that moment. But then fast forward years later that I stopped being in my relationship, then I ended up getting with the porn star girl. And it was actually in the middle of another relationship that I actually liked, but the girl was like ghosting me and shit, this goth girl, and thinking it's all good. So then when I got with the porn star girl, she started trying to hit me up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm already with somebody else," and she was like freaking out and shit. But I don't know, whatever. Girls be all over the place sometimes. I be all over the place sometimes. Everybody, whatever. But so fast forward years later, I get with the girl, and it starts off good. Of course, the smashing is immaculate and all that. And but like I had just come from being polyamorous and being single and like just running through the city pretty much. And and obviously her being a porn star, she was very ran through herself. But the reason why our relationship ended was because, oh, this also leads into a good story actually. But pretty much she just kept being jealous and insecure, and like over me having female friends, would always like tweak and be like, oh, like I hate her, this and that, like, and always hate on them and shit like that. And this goes to back to insecurity and hating. One thing I've noticed, people that are like obsessed with hating, like, oh, I don't like Kanye, this and that. Oh, I don't like Playboy Cardi because of this and that. Oh, I don't like Chief Keef. Oh, I don't like Lil Uzi. All those artists, I like all of them. I like so many artists, like people that have a skill and are passionate about it and make it to a big level, I'm not a hater of them. But I've noticed that people who are, or even like local people, like local artists, just that they don't even know type shit and they want to hate on them. Uh, I've noticed that people that are addicted to that, they have insecurity problems. That's where it stems from. People who are maybe not into psychology might not really grasp that or notice it, but or some people that are not into psychology even know that. It's kind of like a basic thing, but many people might not be aware. But she would always complain about girls like that were just my friends, or pretty much like girls I never hooked up with. Or sometimes I would try to like maybe be friends with an ex or something, and then she'll hate on them. But even girls that I like was purely artistic bond or just friends, whatever, she would always hate. And so I'll share with y'all the final turning point that finally broke things off for good. So we had got into another one of our arguments, and I noticed, as I said, she also used to fuck with Rob Banks, and I noticed Rob Banks was having a show coming up. So right the day before the Rob Banks show, we were good, but I noticed she started a random argument for no reason and blocked me. And usually I would block her for fucking spazzing on me while I was at work and like starting a tantrum while I was at work, whatever. And she was older than me, by the way. I was like 24 or something, and she was like 27, 28. But she started a random argument. I peeped, there was a Rob Banks show the next day, and I was like, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna let shit be how it is, and I'm gonna go to the Rob Banks show. And then she would always talk about, oh, like Rob Banks loves me, he makes songs about me, this and that. And fucking uh so I went to the show and seeing if her theory was correct. And it was a small show, like small venue. Like they for sure saw each other, but he didn't even pay her any mind, which that was fucking hilarious. And then she tried to come up to me, and then I was like, "Oh, nah, you came for Rob Banks. Like, why don't you talk to him?" And then she was like, "No, I want to talk to you." And then I was like, "Nah, talk to him. Like, if you want, I'll even go up to him with you and see what's up." And then and she was like, "No," but I was like still rejecting and shit. So then she ended up like being friendly and holding hands with a random guy there in front of me. But fucking like that moment of fucking that, if you knew like the more of the lore behind the shit, like that shit was one of the funniest moments of my life. Because while we were in the rap group for years, she would always talk about Rob Banks, like, oh, me and him are long lost loves and this and that. And then the fact that I saw that it wasn't like that, and then she was trying to come up to me, and then I was like, oh, nah, like, let's go up to Rob Banks. So that shows the one of the funniest moments of my life. Like, fucking, that's part of the reason why I've realized I really like the left hand path, because like sometimes your life might get crazy, but some of the moments are just so funny that it's like so worth it type shit. But all right, I think that's good enough for today's stories. Updated y'all on my spirituality, on my life, gave 3 stories. Um, People who have been in and out, I appreciate y'all. Keep staying tuned and letting me know what y'all want. And make sure you follow my Instagram, my Twitter, which is Lord XSYKO at Lord XSYKO. And then the Dark Side World Order IG is Dark Side World Order, spelled just like that. And the Twitter is DS World Order. And I believe the TikTok is the same. Tune into all that. Follow. Give me feedback. Like stuff. Go tune into the website. Also, check out my music, my beats. And thank you if you've been staying tuned this long, or if you watch this in general. Fuck with you. Let me know. Show love, and I'll try to show love back if you're also a fellow artist or YouTuber. And let me know, anybody that's a YouTuber, if you want to collaborate, or if you're an occultist or artist, let me know for an interview. But all right, peace out, y'all. It was a good live. Peace.